Carl Jung once said, "The body is the mirror of the soul." And the truth is, your posture, your gestures, your gaze, are revealing secrets you don't even know you're telling. Most people assume body language is simple, almost like a cheat sheet. Crossed arms, closed off, leaning in, interested, hands in pockets, nervous or hiding something. End of story, right? But let me ask you this, how many times have you crossed your arms not because you were defensive, but because you were cold? Or because it was just comfortable? How many times have you leaned in, not because you were interested, but because you couldn't hear what the other person was saying? This is the trap of pop psychology. It teaches us to look at gestures in isolation, like symbols in a dictionary. One gesture equals one meaning. But human beings aren't that simple. Think about it. If body language were that easy to decode, every detective, every negotiator, every parent would instantly know the truth, every single time. But how often do people misread each other? Constantly. Here's an example. You're in a meeting at work, and your colleague is drumming their fingers on the table. Someone thinks, they're impatient. Someone else whispers, no, they're bored. But what if they're just keeping rhythm with a song in their head? The gesture is the same, but the meaning? Completely different. This is where most people stop. They treat body language as a set of signs, like traffic lights. Red means stop, green means go, but psychology, and especially Jung, suggests it's more like an orchestra. One instrument alone doesn't tell you the whole song. It's the combination, the context, and the unconscious emotion behind it that really matters. So yes, crossed arms can mean someone is closed off. But they can also mean protection, comfort, or even simply rest. The truth is, the body doesn't speak in one-word sentences. It speaks in stories, and every gesture is just one line in that unfolding story. And here's the deeper danger. When we cling to these shortcut beliefs, we not only misread others, we misread ourselves. You might catch yourself fidgeting and think, I look weak. But maybe your body is signaling something true, something your conscious mind is ignoring, stress, excitement, or even anticipation. So the end of story belief that body language is just posture and gestures actually blinds us. Because in reality, body language isn't about translation. It's about interpretation, and that requires more than quick assumptions. It requires listening, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, your intuition, your unconscious. That's where the real journey begins. But psychology reveals something deeper. Our body doesn't just leak feelings like a cracked pipe dripping water. No, our body speaks. It speaks the language of the unconscious. Every gesture, every shift in posture, every glance that lingers a little too long is a message from parts of ourselves we rarely control. Think about the last time you told someone, I'm fine. Maybe you forced a smile, but your shoulders slumped. Maybe your tone was flat. The words came from your conscious mind, but your body told a different story. And the truth? Most people believed your body, not your words. Carl Jung would say this is no accident. The unconscious has a voice of its own, and often, it speaks through the body. When you bite your nails, when your foot won't stop tapping, when your gaze drops to the floor, these aren't just random tics, they're the unconscious trying to be heard. Here's a powerful example. Imagine someone giving a presentation. Their words are polished, their slides are perfect, but their hands are gripping the podium so tightly their knuckles turn white. The audience feels it. They may not know why, but something inside whispers, they're nervous, they're insecure. That's because we don't only read words, we read energy. We read micro-expressions, fleeting signals that flash across the face in a fraction of a second. You can't fake those. Your conscious mind might want to hide fear or anger, but the body slips, it raises an eyebrow, flinches, pulls back, tightens the jaw. And that micro-expression? It's like the unconscious tapping us on the shoulder, saying, here's the truth. Jung often spoke about the shadow, those hidden parts of ourselves we deny or suppress. And here's the surprising twist, the shadow doesn't just live in our dreams or our thoughts. It leaks into the body. When we deny our anger, maybe our fists clench. When we suppress grief, maybe our breath shortens, our chest feels heavy. So body language isn't a surface-level code like a smile means happy or a shrug means don't know. It's a doorway. a living dialogue between your conscious self and your unconscious self. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. When others read your body language, they're not just picking up random signals. They're tuning into your unconscious directly. It's almost like our deeper selves are having a silent conversation long before our conscious minds catch up. That's the unexpected truth most people never realize. Body language isn't about performance. It's about revelation. It reveals not just what you feel, but who you are, the parts you've hidden, the truths you haven't spoken, and sometimes the fears you haven't even admitted to yourself. And once you see it that way, every gesture becomes more than a signal. It becomes a story your soul is trying to tell. Carl Jung believed that what we fail to express consciously, the body expresses unconsciously. Think of it like a shadow play on the wall. Your lips tell one story, but your body acts out another. The unconscious finds its stage in posture, in movement, in the tiniest flicker of expression. Jung called these hidden forces archetypes, universal characters that live inside us all. They're ancient patterns, inherited blueprints of human behavior. And here's the fascinating part, they don't just show up in our myths or our dreams. They show up in how we sit, how we stand, how we walk into a room. Picture the warrior archetype. Even without armor, you can recognize it instantly, the lifted chin, the squared shoulders, the deliberate step. The body radiates readiness, strength, protection. Now picture the child archetype. The wide eyes, the hesitant steps, the way the arms fold inward as if to shield a tender heart. These patterns are older than us, yet they live through us every day. And sometimes, the archetype that surfaces in our body isn't the one we want others to see. You may want to appear confident, to project the hero. But your body leaks the shadow, the slouch of doubt, the nervous twitch of fear, the downward gaze of submission. It's as if two characters from within you are stepping onto the same stage, fighting for the spotlight. Here's a story. Imagine a man at a job interview. He wears the suit of the professional. He speaks with carefully rehearsed answers. But then, as he's asked a tough question, his hands fidget in his lap, his shoulders curl inward. The archetype of the insecure child has stepped forward, uninvited, revealing what the conscious mind wanted to hide. The interviewer senses it, not through words, but through posture. This is why Jung's insight matters. Our body isn't betraying us. It's revealing us. It's showing which archetype is in the driver's seat at that moment. And the metaphor of the shadow play fits perfectly. Imagine you standing by a fire, your conscious self speaking in the light, while behind you your unconscious projects giant shadows on the wall. The audience sees both at once, the words in the light, and the truth in the shadow. And often, it's the shadow that speaks loudest. So when you notice someone's clenched jaw, or their quickened breath, or their eyes that can't quite meet yours, you're not just reading a gesture, you're glimpsing the archetype they're wrestling with. Their inner warrior, their inner child, their lover, their trickster, their judge, all alive, all moving through the body. Jung believed individuation, the path to wholeness, comes when we integrate these archetypes, when our words and our body stop fighting and begin to move in harmony. Until then, the body remains the stage where the unconscious performs the stories we don't dare tell. Why does this unsettle others? Because when your words say, "I'm fine," but your body whispers, "I'm not," people feel the split. They sense the contradiction, even if they can't name it. Imagine sitting across from someone who smiles politely, but their eyes are heavy, their shoulders sagging. You hear their cheerful words, but you feel their sadness. It creates a strange tension, almost like standing in a room where two different songs are playing at once. You can't relax until one of them stops. This is why society often fears authentic emotion. We crave consistency, clarity. If someone says they're happy, we want their body to match it. If they say they're confident, we want their posture to confirm it. The moment there's a mismatch, we feel unsettled, even suspicious. What are they hiding? Why don't I believe them? Carl Jung might say this is the shadow making itself known, the parts of the self we try to suppress. But society doesn't know what to do with the shadow. We're trained to value masks, the professional mask, the polite mask, the confident mask. And when the mask cracks, when the body slips and reveals something raw, it challenges the social script. And that's why it unsettles others, because deep down, we all carry that same split. We've all said I'm okay when we weren't. We've all forced a smile when we wanted to cry. So when we see someone else's body betraying their words, it mirrors our own hidden truth. It reminds us of the parts of ourselves we keep locked away. It's not just their discomfort we're noticing, it's our own. Their tension becomes a mirror of our tension. Their mask slipping threatens to slip ours. And so society, instead of welcoming this honesty, often punishes it. We label people awkward, weak, or unprofessional when really, they're simply being human when their unconscious refuses to stay silent. But for many, this gap creates pain. Maybe you've been misunderstood, your silence mistaken for weakness, your nervous fidgeting taken as guilt, your lowered gaze labeled as dishonesty. The world often judges the body without understanding the deeper story behind it. And that can feel crushing. But this is where the hero's journey begins. Because every story of growth starts with a struggle, a wound, a moment of being misread or dismissed. The paradox, the very thing that unsettles us, the mismatch between words and body, is also the most honest thing we ever see. Because the body rarely lies. It keeps speaking, even when the world demands silence. Think of it like standing at a crossroads with two voices inside you. One voice says, hide it, control it, put the mask back on. The other whispers, no, listen, there's truth in what your body is saying. That whisper is the call to adventure. It's the unconscious asking you not to fight it, but to know it. The awakening happens when you stop treating your body as an enemy exposing your weaknesses, and start seeing it as a guide revealing your hidden self. When your hands tremble, maybe it's not shame, but the shadow urging you to face your fear. When your posture slumps, maybe it's not failure, but your inner child asking for care. Carl Jung believed the hero's path was individuation, the integration of all parts of the self, including the shadow. And here's the truth, when you learn to read your own body language, you stop being at war with yourself. You reclaim the power you once gave away to doubt, to fear, to society's labels. It doesn't mean you'll never feel nervous or misunderstood again. The hero still faces trials. But the difference is this, instead of silencing the body, you learn to listen. Instead of collapsing under its signals, you stand with them. And when you do, something shifts. Your words and your body begin to align. Your gestures no longer betray you, they support you. Your silence is no longer weakness, it becomes presence. Your nervous energy transforms into vitality. That's the strength of the hero who has walked through pain, who has faced the split between conscious and unconscious, and who now stands whole. Because the real power of body language isn't in faking confidence, it's in embodying truth. And when you embody truth, you don't just communicate, you radiate emotional uplift. And that's the strength. Body language isn't just about impressing others or looking confident. It's about knowing yourself so deeply that your body and soul move in harmony. Jung called this individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are. So next time you notice your hands trembling, or your shoulders curling in, pause. Your body isn't betraying you. It's guiding you. It's your unconscious saying, here I am. Listen to me. That's the real secret of nonverbal communication. Not about faking confidence, but about embodying truth. So here's your challenge, the next time your body speaks, whether it's a tremble, a sigh, or a tightening in your chest, don't ignore it, don't fight it. Pause. Listen. Because your body is the voice of your unconscious, the bridge to your wholeness. And if you can honor that truth, then every step you take, every word you speak, will carry a power that no performance can match. So don't just look confident. Don't just pretend strong. Embody your truth.